Tao Lin, the author of Taipei, thanks for being on the Moola Files.
Thanks for having me.
So you've gone to all sorts of extremes to avoid getting a real job and devote yourself to your art. Talk about what you like to sell on the internet and how it sustained your writing itch.
Well, I haven't been completely successful in avoiding a real job. I've had part-time jobs. I graduated from NYU in 2005, and I had part-time jobs in libraries and restaurants till 2008. But in 2008, I did this thing for my second novel. I wrote a blog post saying I was going to sell 60% of the US royalties to people for $2,000 per 10%. And then someone, a classmate of mine, linked it on the New York Times Freakonomics blog. And from there, a whole bunch of places linked it.
So it's basically crowdsourcing the publishing. Instead of an advance, you're allowing people to have equity in your novel sales.
Yeah, it's almost like Kickstarter, but only 6 people. And I outlined they would get 10% of just the US royalties, and they would get paid every 6 months when I got my royalty checks every 6 months. So I only made $12,000 off that, which is not much compared to most authors, but it lasted me long enough to finish the book. And then I ran out of money again because my royalty checks probably $4,000 to $6,000 every 6 months. Most of it's from foreign sales. So I don't make enough money without having to do other stuff. For example, I sell some stuff on eBay, like drafts of whatever book I'm currently working on, or drawings.
So this is the new vision of the struggling artist, someone who leverages the power of the internet to make ends meet. But you actually have become an established writer, and Taipei, your third novel, allowed you to get a $50,000 advance from Vintage. Do you think that is recognition of how established you've become, that you no longer have to come up with a crowdsourcing scheme?
With this book, I got an agent, and he sent my 20 pages and an outline out to 10 editors or something, and 4 were interested, so I met with them, and then they made their offers, and my agent was like, no, that's not enough, and it finally ended up with $50,000 with Vintage. So yeah, if I hadn't had my other 5 books out, this would not have worked.
You actually still are running out of money. You travel a lot, you spend a lot. You have come up with some outlandish schemes beyond the selling of drafts and drawings. Talk about making your ecstasy movies, which have gone for sale.
Okay. Well, I started with my wife a film company called MDMA Films. The idea was that one night we were watching YouTube videos of people answering 10 questions sober, and then 10 questions on LSD, and they would splice it together. And they each had 70,000 views or something, but there were only 3 of them on YouTube. So we thought we wanted to make something like that, but we weren't we're both shy people, so sober and on whatever, on MDMA, we were the same. So it wasn't worth putting on YouTube. But we took that idea and actually sort of got away from the drug thing, and we made a documentary on a teenager in Las Vegas. She's a fashion blogger, BB Zeva. And that didn't have anything to do with drugs, but the media, of course, wants to focus on the drugs. So they're like, Tao Lin is now selling videos of himself on ecstasy to whatever. I think it was Elle magazine.
Tao Lin, author of Taipei, out June 4th. Thanks so much for being on the Moola Files.
Thanks for having me.